Quarantine camps are being considered in New York. The state's Supreme Court heard oral arguments this week regarding Title 10, Section 2.13 of New York Code Rules and Regulations. This rule would let the New York Department of Health force isolation or quarantine on individuals at detention centers. Authorities could do so without proof the individual poses a health threat, and they could be held indefinitely. The government must only suspect you might be harboring a communicable disease. There is no age restriction, so kids are subject to the rule as well. The state health commissioner was given this power via an executive order by the governor in 2020. This power continued getting extended in 90-day increments. A lower court judge declared this rule unconstitutional last summer. Governor Kathy Hochul appealed this decision. The justices have not rendered their opinions yet. Watch attorney Bobby Ann Cox, who represents Uniting NYS, make the case against quarantine camps.
The first thing I'd like to do is get on the record what this regulation actually says. And then I'll go into some of the details on how it conflicts with our existing...
We certainly don't need to read the regulation to us.
No. I'm not going to read it. So, Rule 2.13 gave the Commissioner of Health the unbridled power to pick and choose which New Yorkers she could lock up. I'm saying she because at the time it was Dr. Mary Bassett. She could lock up or lock down. She didn't have to prove you were sick. She didn't have to prove you were exposed to a communicable disease. She didn't have to prove you were a health threat. She could issue an isolation or quarantine order at whim. It didn't have to be a state of emergency. That quarantine order or that isolation order would determine how long you were in lockup or lockdown. They could have locked you up in your home, or they could have removed you from your home with the force of police as clearly delineated in 2.13. With the force of police, they could have removed you from your home and put you into a detention center, a facility, whatever you'd like to call it, whatever noun you choose, it gets you to the same place. It's not your home, and you don't get to pick where you go. They could have locked you up there for however long they wanted. No restrictions. Days, weeks, months. There was no age restriction. So they could have done this to you, but they also could have done this to your child or your grandchild or your elderly parent. The provision said that they could tell you what you could